Black waiter gives a free meal to a white hungry family. Their tip the next day leaves him speechless. Marcus wipes down the counter at Lily's diner, his movements automatic after years of practice. The morning rush is in full swing, filled with the clatter of dishes and aroma of fresh coffee. He greets each regular customer with a warm smile, calling Minnie by name. "Morning, Mrs. Henderson." "The usual?" "You know it, Marcus." "Thanks, honey." As the rush slows, Marcus slips into the back room. He pulls out a small wad of bills and loose change from his apkit, counting quickly. His face falls slightly as he tallies the meager amount. It's not much, but every dollar counts. He tucks the money away with a sigh. Returning to the counter, Marcus overhears a conversation between two co-workers. "Did you hear? Tommy got that assistant manager position," says Jen, another waitress. Marcus forces a smile. "That's great for him." "Should have been you, Marcus. You work harder than anyone here." He shrugs, not wanting to dwell on it. Deep down, he knows why he didn't get the promotion. He can't afford the nice clothes or reliable car that come with the position. It's a cycle he can't seem to break. As he refills coffee cups, Marcus's mind wanders to his childhood. He sees himself at 8 years old, watching his mom count pennies at the kitchen table, trying to scrape together enough for dinner. The memory fades, replaced by a dream. His own diner, warm and welcoming, where no one has to worry about affording a meal. A commotion at table 6 snaps Marcus back to reality. Mr. Granger, a notoriously picky customer, is complaining about his eggs. "I said over easy, not over hard." Mr. Granger barks at Sarah, a young waitress who looks close to tears. Marcus steps in smoothly. "I'm so sorry about that, Mr. Granger. Let me take care of that for you right away." He quickly prepares a fresh plate of eggs, exactly to Mr. Granger's liking. When he returns, the customer's scowl has softened slightly. As the lunch rush dies down, Marcus's stomach growls. He ignores it, knowing that skipping lunch means a few more dollars in his pocket. He's grown used to the hunger pangs by now. "Great job today, Marcus," his boss, Frank, says as he passes by. "Don't know what we'd do without you." Marcus nods, hoping for a moment that Frank might mention a raise. But the moment passes, and Frank moves on to the next task. The hours crawl by, each minute ticking closer to the end of his shift. Marcus's feet ache, but he keeps moving, refilling coffee cups and clearing tables with unwavering efficiency. He glances at the clock, counting down the hours until he can go home to his small apartment. The bell above the door chimes, pulling Marcus from his thoughts. He turns, ready to greet the new customers with his usual warm smile. But the sight that meets his eyes makes him pause. A family of 4 stands hesitantly in the doorway. Their clothes are wrinkled and worn, and there's a weariness in their posture that speaks of long, hard days. The father, a tall man with worry lines etched deep in his face, scans the diner nervously. The mother, her blonde hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, clutches the hands of 2 children, a boy and a girl, both looking around with wide, hungry eyes. Marcus recognizes the look in their eyes. He's seen it in the mirror often enough. It's the look of people trying to decide if they can afford to stay or if they should turn around and leave. Without hesitation, Marcus steps forward, offering a friendly wave. "Welcome to Lily's," he says warmly. "Table for 4? The family exchanges uncertain glances. The father clears his throat. Yes. If it's not too much trouble." "No trouble at all," Marcus assures them, leading them to a clean booth by the window. As they slide into their seats, he notices the mother trying to smooth down her daughter's unruly hair, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Marcus hands them menus with a smile. "Take your time. Can I get you folks started with some water?" The father nods gratefully. "Yes, please. Thank you." As Marcus fetches their water, he keeps an eye on the family. The parents huddle over one menu, whispering urgently. The father pulls out a handful of crumpled bills from his pocket, counting them surreptitiously under the table. The children, meanwhile, can't seem to take their eyes off the plates of food at nearby tables. The little girl's stomach growls audibly, and she shrinks in her seat, looking mortified. Marcus's heart clenches. He knows that feeling all too well, the gnawing hunger, the shame of not being able to afford a simple meal. As he approaches their table with the waters, He's already formulating a plan to help this struggling family, even if it means dipping into his own meager resources. Marcus approaches the family's table, notepad in hand. "Can I get you folks something to drink?" he asks, his voice warm and inviting. The father glances at his wife, then back at Marcus. "Just water for now, please," he says softly, his voice barely above a whisper. Marcus nods, jotting it down. As he turns to leave, he catches a hushed conversation. "We can only afford one small meal," the father whispers, his voice strained. "Maybe we should just go." Marcus's heart sinks. He glances back, seeing the children's crestfallen faces as they study the menu. The younger girl, no more than 6 or 7, points at a picture of pancakes, her eyes hopeful, but her mother gently shakes her head. "Not today, sweetheart," she murmurs, her voice thick with emotion. As he fills their water glasses at the server station, Marcus can't help but think of his own struggles. The constant worry about bills, the empty fridge at home, the nights he goes to bed with his stomach growling. He knows that desperate feeling all too well. The cool water splashes against the glasses, and Marcus finds himself lost in thought. He remembers the times his own mother had to stretch a meal to feed him and his sister Tasha. The memory of her tired eyes and forced smile as she insisted she wasn't hungry herself still haunts him. Shaking off the memories, Marcus carefully balances the tray of waters and heads back to the family's table. As he approaches, he overhears the mother suggest, "We could split a plate of eggs. That should be enough." The father nods, his shoulders slumped in defeat. "I guess that's our best option." "But I'm really hungry," the boy protests quietly, his eyes darting longingly to a nearby table where a man is cutting into a stack of pancakes. "I know, sweetie," his mother soothes, running a hand through his hair. "We'll make it work. We always do." Marcus sets down the waters, his mind racing. He can't bear to see this family go hungry, not when he has the power to do something about it. Without a second thought, he decides he'll cover their meal himself. It's not much, but it's something he can do to help. As he turns to leave, Marcus pauses. Should he tell them now, or surprise them at the end? He opts for discretion, not wanting to embarrass them further. He knows how pride can sometimes make it hard to accept help, even when you desperately need it. "Have you folks decided what you'd like to order?" Marcus asks, keeping his tone casual as he pulls out his notepad again. The father clears his throat, his eyes fixed on the table. "We'll, just have the 2-egg special, please." "To share." Marcus nods, noticing the man's averted gaze and the slight tremor in his hands. "Sounds good. Anything else I can get for you?" The mother hesitates, her eyes darting between her children. "Actually, could we just get some more water for the kids?" That settles it for Marcus. He can't let this family leave hungry, not when he sees so much of his own past reflected in their tired eyes and slumped shoulders. "You know what?" he says, thinking quickly. "We actually have a family special going on today. It's not on the menu, but it's a great deal. How about I bring that out for you?" The father's brow furrows, a mix of confusion and suspicion crossing his face. "Oh, we couldn't dash." "It's no trouble at all," Marcus insists, his voice warm and reassuring. "Really, we do this all the time for new customers. It's kind of our way of welcoming folks to the neighborhood." The parents exchange a look, a silent conversation passing between them. Marcus can see the relief warring with hesitation on their faces. Finally, the father nods, a small smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. That's very kind of you." "Thank you." Marcus smiles warmly. "My pleasure. I'll have that right out for you." As he heads to the kitchen, Marcus can feel the family's eyes on his back. He hopes they don't feel embarrassed or ashamed. In his experience, everyone needs a helping hand sometimes. Today, he's in a position to offer that hand, and he's grateful for the opportunity. In the kitchen, Marcus approaches the cook, Big Mike, a burly man with a heart of gold. "Hey, Mike," he says, leaning in close. "I need a favor." Mike raises an eyebrow. "What's up, Marcus?" Marcus explains the situation quietly, gesturing towards the family's table. "Can we put together a big family meal? Pancakes, eggs, bacon, fruit, the works. I'll cover it myself." Mike's eyes soften as he glances out at the family. Say no more, kid. I'll make it extra special. As Mike gets to work, Marcus busies himself preparing a fresh pot of coffee and grabbing extra syrup and butter. He knows it's coming out of his own pocket, but seeing the family's faces light up will be worth it. Besides, he reasons, he can skip buying that new pair of shoes he's been eyeing. This is more important. The kitchen soon fills with the mouth-watering aroma of fresh pancakes and sizzling bacon. Marcus can't help but smile as he watches Mike pile the food high on the plates, adding an extra pancake here, an extra strip of bacon there. "You're a good kid, Marcus," Mike says as he hands over the loaded tray. "Don't let anyone tell you different." Marcus nods his thanks, carefully balancing the tray as he heads back out to the dining room. As he approaches the family's table, he sees their eyes widen in disbelief. "Wow!" the little girl exclaims, bouncing in her seat. "Is that all for us?" Marcus sets down the plates, his heart swelling at the looks of shock and gratitude on their faces. "Sure is," he says with a wink. "Our special family breakfast. I hope you're hungry." The boy's eyes are as big as saucers as he stares at the stack of pancakes in front of him. "Can I really eat all of this?" he asks, looking to his parents for permission. The father nods, his voice thick with emotion. "Go ahead, son. Eat up." As Marcus sets down the last plate, he sees the tension melt from the parents' shoulders. The mother's eyes shimmer with unshed tears as she looks up at him. "This is too much," she whispers. "We can't possibly dash." Marcus shakes his head, cutting her off gently. "Not at all. It's our pleasure. Enjoy your meal, folks." He steps back, watching as the family digs in, their earlier stress replaced by genuine smiles. The children laugh as they drizzle syrup over their pancakes, and the parents exchange a look of relief and love. In that moment, Marcus knows he made the right choice. He might be out a few dollars, but the warmth in his chest is worth far more than money. Sometimes, a simple act of kindness can make all the difference in the world. As he turns to check on his other tables, Marcus catches the eye of his manager, Frank. The older man gives him a knowing nod and a thumbs up. Marcus feels a flush of pride. He knows he's done something good today, something his mama would be proud of. Throughout the rest of their meal, Marcus keeps a discreet eye on the family. He refills their drinks, brings extra napkins, and makes sure they have everything they need. Each time he approaches the table, he's greeted with genuine smiles and heartfelt thanks. As the family finishes their meal, Marcus can see the change in their demeanor. The father sits up straighter, his earlier dejection replaced by a quiet dignity. The mother's eyes sparkle as she wipes syrup from her daughter's chin, and the children, their bellies full and spirits lifted, chatter happily about their plans for the day. When it comes time to bring the check, Marcus hesitates. He knows the family is expecting to pay for their original order of a single egg dish. Taking a deep breath, he approaches the table one last time. "I hope everything was to your liking," he says, smiling warmly. The father nods emphatically. "It was wonderful. Thank you so much for your kindness. We really appreciate it." Marcus can see the man struggling with his words, likely torn between gratitude and embarrassment. He decides to make it easy for them. "You know what?" Marcus says, his voice low and conspiratorial. "Why don't we just call it even? Consider it a welcome to the neighborhood gift." The mother's eyes widen. But we have to pay something. "You've been so kind already." Marcus shakes his head. "Not necessary. Just promise me you'll come back and visit us again sometime. Maybe when things are a little easier." The father stands, extending his hand to Marcus. "Thank you," he says, his voice thick with emotion. "You have no idea what this means to us." As Marcus shakes the man's hand, he feels a lump forming in his throat. "It's my pleasure, truly. We all need a little help sometimes." The family gathers their things, the children waving goodbye as they head towards the door. Just before they leave, the mother turns back to Marcus. "You're a good person," she says softly. "Don't ever change." As the bell above the door chimes, signaling their departure, Marcus takes a deep breath. He feels a mix of emotions, pride, humility, and a deep sense of satisfaction. He knows he'll have to tighten his belt a little this month to make up for the cost of the meal, but seeing the joy and relief on that family's faces makes it all worthwhile. Marcus turns back to his other tables, a new spring in his step. He doesn't know if he'll ever see that family again, but he hopes that his small act of kindness might inspire them to pay it forward someday. After all, isn't that what community is all about? As he picks up a coffee pot to make his rounds, Marcus catches his reflection in the chrome surface. His mama's words echo in his mind, kindness costs nothing, but it's worth everything. Today, he knows he's made her proud. Marcus arrives at Lily's diner for his morning shift, the events of yesterday still fresh in his mind. As he ties his apron, he wonders about the family he helped. Did that meal make a difference? Are they doing okay today? The morning rush keeps him busy, pouring coffee and taking orders. But every time the bell above the door chimes, he finds himself glancing up, half expecting to see the family again. It's just past the lunch rush when the bell rings once more. Marcus looks up from wiping down a table, and his heart skips a beat. There they are, the family from yesterday. They look different today. Their clothes are neat, and there's a nervous energy about them that wasn't there before. Well, hello again, Marcus says, approaching them with a warm smile. It's good to see you folks. Table for 4? The father nods, a hint of a smile on his face. Yes, please. And we were hoping to see you, actually. Marcus raises an eyebrow, curious. Oh, well, I'm glad you caught me. Right this way. He leads them to a booth, noticing how the children seem more animated today, their eyes bright with excitement. As the family settles in, Marcus can't help but wonder what's brought them back. Are they here to thank him again? Or maybe they're celebrating some good news. Can I get you started with some drinks? Marcus asks, pulling out his notepad. The mother shakes her head. Actually, if you have a moment, we'd like to talk to you. Marcus nods, his curiosity growing. Of course. Is everything all right? The father reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out an envelope. Marcus's heart races. What could this be? We wanted to thank you properly for your kindness yesterday, the father says, his voice thick with emotion. He holds out the envelope. Please take this. Marcus hesitates. Oh, that's not necessary. I was happy to help. The mother reaches out, gently taking Marcus's hand. Please. It would mean a lot to us if you'd accept this. Feeling a bit overwhelmed, Marcus takes the envelope. It's heavier than he expected. Thank you, he says softly. But really, you didn't have to do this. The father shakes his head. We wanted to. And there's a letter inside. We'd like you to read it, if you don't mind. Marcus nods, carefully opening the envelope. Inside, he finds a thick wad of cash, far more than the cost of yesterday's meal, and a folded piece of paper. His hands shaking slightly, he unfolds the letter and begins to read. Dear Marcus, we hope this letter finds you well. We cannot express how much your kindness meant to us yesterday. You see, we've been going through an incredibly difficult time. I recently lost my job, and we were on the verge of homelessness. Your generosity came at a moment when we were feeling utterly hopeless. What you couldn't have known is that yesterday morning, before coming to the diner, we had received news that changed everything. A long-awaited inheritance finally came through, pulling us back from the brink of financial ruin. We came to the diner to celebrate, but found ourselves still stuck in the mindset of having nothing. Your act of kindness, offered when you thought we couldn't afford a meal, touched us deeply. It reminded us of the goodness in the world, even when things seemed darkest. We want you to know that your compassion made a real difference, not just in filling our stomachs, but in lifting our spirits. We've included a token of our gratitude in this envelope. We know it's far more than the cost of the meal, but we want you to have it. Consider it an investment in your kindness. We hope it might help you in whatever way you need, just as you helped us. Thank you, Marcus. People like you make the world a better place. Sincerely, the Thompson family. Marcus looks up from the letter, his vision blurry with unshed tears. The family, the Thompsons, are watching him with warm smiles. I don't know what to say, Marcus stammers, overwhelmed by the gesture. Mrs. Thompson reaches across the table, squeezing his hand. You don't have to say anything. We just wanted you to know what your kindness meant to us. Marcus shakes his head, trying to hand the envelope back. This is too much. I can't accept this. Mr. Thompson gently pushes it back towards Marcus. Please, we want you to have it. Use it for something important to you. Marcus looks down at the envelope, his mind reeling. The amount inside could make a real difference in his life. It could help with Tasha's school supplies, or maybe even start a small savings for his dream of owning a diner someday. I don't know how to thank you, Marcus says softly. The little girl pipes up, her voice bright. You already did. You gave us pancakes. The tension breaks as everyone laughs. Marcus feels a warmth spreading through his chest, a mixture of gratitude and humility. Well, when you put it that way, he chuckles, carefully tucking the envelope into his apron pocket. Thank you. Truly. This means more than you know. Mr. Thompson nods, a smile crinkling the corners of his eyes. We're the ones who should be thanking you, Marcus. Your kindness reminded us that even in our darkest moments, there's still good in the world. Marcus feels a lump forming in his throat. He's always believed in the power of small acts of kindness, but he never imagined one of his own would have such an impact. So, he says, trying to lighten the mood, can I get you folks some breakfast? On the menu this time? The family laughs. The earlier tension completely dissipated. They order a hearty breakfast, this time with no hesitation or worry. As Marcus heads to the kitchen to place their order, he feels a newfound spring in his step. Throughout the rest of his shift, Marcus can't stop thinking about the letter and the unexpected gift. He's grateful, of course, but more than that, he's touched by the reminder that kindness can have ripple effects far beyond what we can see. As he serves other customers, refills coffee cups, and wipes down tables, Marcus finds himself paying extra attention to each person he interacts with. He wonders about their stories, their struggles, their triumphs. Each smile he offers, each small act of courtesy, feels more meaningful now. During a lull in the afternoon, Marcus takes a moment to really look at the cash in the envelope. It's more money than he's held at one time in years. His mind races with possibilities. He could pay off some bills, buy Tasha the new backpack she needs for school, maybe even treat his mom to a nice dinner. But as he thinks about it, an idea begins to form. The Thompsons' generosity has inspired him. What if he used this money not just for himself, but to help others too? He thinks about the struggling families in his neighborhood, the local shelter that's always in need of supplies, the after-school program that Tasha attends which is constantly underfunded. Maybe he could split the money, using some to ease his own burdens and some to pay it forward. The more he considers it, the more right it feels. This unexpected gift could be the start of something bigger, a way to spread kindness throughout his community. As his shift winds down, Marcus makes a decision. He'll use part of the money to start a small emergency fund for himself and to help out his family. But the rest? He'll find ways to use it to help others in need, just as the Thompsons helped him and he helped them. He imagines setting aside a little money each month to buy meals for families who come to the diner and can't afford to pay. Or maybe he could donate to the local food bank or volunteer at the shelter. The possibilities seem endless, and for the first time in a long while, Marcus feels a sense of hope and purpose that goes beyond just making it through each day. As he hangs up his apron at the end of his shift, Marcus takes one last look at the envelope. It represents so much more than just money. It's a reminder of the power of kindness, the importance of community, and the unexpected ways that helping others can come back to you. He tucks the envelope safely in his pocket and heads out into the evening, his mind already whirling with plans. Tomorrow, he'll start putting his ideas into action. For now, he walks home with a light heart, grateful for the reminder that even in the darkest times, there's always room for kindness and hope. The streetlights flicker on as Marcus makes his way home, casting a warm glow on the sidewalk. He can't help but see his familiar neighborhood in a new light. The old man who always sits on his porch, the young mom struggling with her groceries, the kids playing basketball in the fading light. He wonders about their stories, their needs, their dreams. As he climbs the stairs to his apartment, Marcus feels a renewed sense of purpose. He may not be able to change the whole world, but he can make a difference in his little corner of it. And who knows? Maybe his actions will inspire others, creating a ripple effect of kindness that spreads far beyond what he can see. He unlocks his door, the familiar creaks and groans of the old building a comforting soundtrack. Inside, he finds Tasha at the kitchen table, bent over her homework. "Hey, Squirt," he says, ruffling her hair as he passes. "How was school?" Tasha looks up, her face breaking into a wide smile. "Marcus, you're never gonna believe what happened today." As he listens to his sister's excited chatter about her day, Marcus feels a warmth spread through his chest. This is what it's all about, he thinks. Family, community, looking out for each other. And thanks to the Thompsons' generosity, he now has more resources to do just that. Later that night, as Marcus lies in bed, his mind is still buzzing with ideas and possibilities. He drifts off to sleep with a smile on his face, eager to see what tomorrow will bring and how he can use this unexpected blessing to make a difference in the lives of others. In his dreams, he sees a chain of kindness stretching out before him, each link representing a life touched, a burden eased, a spirit lifted. And at the center of it all is a simple plate of pancakes, a reminder that sometimes the smallest gestures can have the biggest impact.